Getting ready. Just waiting for YouTube. We are live. Do you want to take your public speaking all the way to the next level? You want to master communication, managing people, talking to people, and take your entire professional life all the way to the next level by just investing 1.5 to 2 hours a week. Every single thing that you need to master in terms of learning it through Toastmasters is what we're going to uncover in today's live. Hi, welcome to episode number 75. We've hit a landmark number, which we should have hit a lot sooner, but here we are, better late than never, right? So, in today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the full fledged one and a half, almost, yeah, 1.5 to 2 years of experience that I've had in the Toastmasters journey. Every single thing that I did from beginning to scratch, all there is to know about Toastmasters. And I want to ensure that this is the single big only video that you need in order to take a calculated decision whether you should go ahead with Toastmasters or not. So, to give you a full-fledged idea, uh, we'll start from beginner all the way to the expert, and just stay with me if you are if you want to move through points. Feel free to do so. I'm just going to go one by one. So, what is Toastmasters? The first time when I got to know about it was when I was in college, and it I was just told that it's a place where you practice public speaking. There are group of like-minded people. They come to a place which is more like a place which has a stage, and then group of people are talking. You get to learn communication skills, and that's a very good platform, like a very good place to practice public speaking. Now, I thought, okay, fine, it's a very good place to go, only to realize that it's a place that requires fees. It's not just fees in Indian currency, rather fees in dollars. Now, the amount of money that they charged is the money that I did not have, and my parents wouldn't pay a single penny for any form of personal development whatsoever. So I kind of parked it aside, only for Yogeshwari to introduce the platform to me back at the end of 2020, when I got to know that she joined a Toastmasters club. Now, I joined the Toastmasters club and I realized that it's probably the most boring place in the whole planet. I mean, here are Toastmasters with 5 years, 6 years, 10 years of experience, and they're not even able to hold my attention. I just felt like the entire 90 minutes to 2 hours was a waste. Now, back then, I was already a part of a public speaking community. So I felt that the public speaking group was far more interesting. I could practice 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day. And I have an audience of 15,000 plus in the public speaking group to listen to my videos. Why would I even join such a community? Mind you, that was COVID times as well. But then Yogeshwari was like, why don't you join? It's going to be very helpful for you. All right, fine. And I did join. But now, before I tell you what all unfolded, I'm going to guide you through what exactly is Toastmasters International. So, it's a platform that primarily teaches you three things. It's a volunteering organization. So, the organization is run by its members. It's a purely non-profit organization. I mean, they claim that it's non-profit. It's a volunteering organization where the members itself run, and they primarily teach you three things: public speaking, public speaking, leadership, and networking in a very strategic manner, in a very self-paced manner, and that happens in a closed space. So the way the Toastmasters International works is you have these clubs, and then groups of clubs forms areas, groups of areas form division, groups of areas form district, groups of district turns into region, and then region, I mean, they also conduct something that is called as a world champion of public speaking. They have an accredited speaker stuff. They have a distinguished Toastmaster, which is literally like a PhD in public speaking. So they give off all these degrees, which are not affiliated in any way, but it's considered that if you're a Toastmaster, which means you have pretty much achieved all these amazing achievements and credentials and stuff. So it pretty much has a big pedigree all across the world. So I realized that, okay, fine. So I've given you the whole objective. Now, if you want to know more about Toastmasters, go to the website and find out all the details. You'll find out a lot of stuff. And I have also conducted a lot of these onboarding kind of sessions on YouTube. So if you find what is Toastmasters by Suryadeep, you'll get to see me in my 2021 days talking more about it. The club that I was a part of called Speak Magic Toastmasters Club. So you'll find a lot of videos over there, videos that I conducted. So please feel free to go there and check. Now, once I felt that, okay, I'm anyways working on my public speaking skills. So I invested 5.5 years in dentistry, only to realize that it's not going to help me at all. Rather, if I can invest some more time in mastering a skill that can set as the very base, the very foundation of my life, why not go for it? So, even before I talk to you about Toastmasters and what happened and what unfolded, I want you to know that you need to be very, very clear about where you are, where you need to be, because Toastmasters is a platform which is actually a self-paced platform, gives you every single thing that you need in order to grow, to speak, to practice speaking, to encourage, to engage with a group of people, encourage each other, be in that space, to really make the most of yourself. And different people have different ways to go about it. Now, for me, as I walk you through my entire life, I'll talk you about the pros and cons of every single aspect of it. And that's why I want to maintain this as a story, because I didn't prepare any presentation as such. I just want to guide you through exactly how my experience was. And then you can take a call on what's best. Again, I'll tell you both the pros and the cons. So, because I was in Kolkata, Yogeshwari recommended that why don't you join a club in your area? So I found out a club which was relatively near to the metro, so that once the physical meetups and all starts, you can actually go out there and meet people and interact and stuff. So I joined the club. Now, every club, there will be multiple set of members. Now, depending on the kind of club that you have, if you go to the website, you'll get to find how many club members are there and all, because there is different leadership roles that's there in every club. So you got the president, the person you're going to talk to will be the vice president membership. They take care of all the questions and everything. They're responsible for you to come to the club as a guest. You can attend as many sessions as you want, absolutely free as a guest. So feel free to do so. However, as a guest, you will not be able to take any active roles. The way a Toastmasters session happen is there are three parts to every Toastmasters meeting. The first part, obviously, the president and everyone opens the club, and then there are the prepared speeches section. Usually, there's a Toastmaster of the day who's like more like the MC of the event, and that's how you're learning the different roles of the Toastmasters. So there's an MC who takes care, and then there's a general evaluator who evaluates the whole meeting. They have their tag team, so timer, accounter, grammarian, and there are other roles as well. There's a prepared speech section. There's an impromptu speech section, and then there is the general evaluator who kind of gives the evaluation. There are evaluators who evaluates the speeches. Everything happens in a very organized manner. Every 6 months on, they have contests, different types of contests. There are some contests like impromptu speaking, evaluation contest, humorous speech contest, which goes all the way to division level, to district level, and ends. And then there's the World Championship of Public Speaking, or the International Speech Contest, which goes beyond different levels and ends up culminates to create the World Champion of Public Speaking, conferred by the Toastmasters International. So this has been going on for quite a few years. I think it's right at this point of time. I think 2025 they celebrated 100 years. So it's a pretty big deal. If and the reason they've been able to do it is they've been doing it consistently, and they've created a beautiful model which is sustainable, where the clubs itself takes care of the entire organization. Now, it is obviously was created in US and then it spread all across the globe. Now, the when I got to know about all these things, and I realized that, okay, public speaking is something that I have to learn. The moment you join as a member, you have to pay an initial registration fee, which makes you a lifetime member of Toastmasters. And then there is a renewal that you need to pay for every 6 months. So every 6 months, the cycle goes from April to September and then October to March. So every 6 months, you need to pay usually the clubs, what they do is they usually love to charge an entire year's worth of fee, but I prefer to keep it very simple and logistical, like easy for the person who's coming in new. And preferably, the clubs will usually charge a fee of the initial amount, which is $20. And recently, when I checked, the renewal fee was, I think, from $45 that got increased to $60. And that's again USD. So the clubs will also add a little bit of an additional amount for the organization and all those charges, certificate printing and all those kind of things, which also get saved as the club funds. So the venue and all that, they kind of top it up and they charge the entire thing together, it's in itself. So that's how much you have to pay for every 6 months. Now I said to myself, okay, if I'm paying this amount, that's something, that's a rule that I believe in myself as well. If I'm spending a single penny from my pocket, is there a possibility that it can get me 10x the amount? If it's so, only then I'll go ahead with the investment. Otherwise, I won't. So I signed up for it. The moment you sign up for it, as a part of your registration, you get one free path. Rest of the paths you need to pay for it. So I felt like, okay, fine, let's go for it. So because I was already making 3 videos per day in the close private Facebook group I was a part of, I said to myself, okay, fine, it's an online, fully online. I had just got my laptop. My mom had gifted me as a graduation gift. Let me explore different clubs all across Kolkata, keep giving speeches and finishing my levels. So every every path includes 5 levels, all the way from basics of public speaking, and they add different skill set as you improve in this whole level. You can consider it as like a semester. Every speech gets mentored and then delivered and then evaluated and corrections made, and in as and when you give more speeches, you continue to improve. So my major focus was, I will give more speeches and I will take up more roles that's going to involve me to speak more often. Now that was the pros, that it's completely self-paced and I can go about it exactly the way that I want. The cons, however, is if you haven't interacted clearly with the club, then it's going to create a lot of problems for you. So the club where I joined first, which was in Kolkata, I don't want to take the name here because I don't want to create any controversy, whatever. But the club in Kolkata, either I was not clear to them, but I was pretty much clear, I remember. I was clear with the president. Probably the president did not convey the same to the education, the vice president education. So there's an education coordinator who takes care of all your peace speeches and pathways and everything. So there was a big clash that happened where either the vice president education was not able to understand my targets and goals and achievements and the way I would like my Toastmasters journey to be, and he kind of acted as a roadblock because he wanted to follow protocol, which he was right in his end. Now I realized that, okay, if it's a volunteering organization, it's not allowing, let me change the club. And when I changed to Speak Magic Toastmasters Club, I think that is pretty much what I like to call it as my second home. The kind of people I met there, I met my mentor there, who even to this date, I'm still in touch with him. It's crazy. I mean, amazing experience over there altogether. They kind of allowed me to go all guns blazing, full-fledged. So the pros and cons. While you join, please make sure that you have your entire targets locked in. What is it that you want to learn? How much would you like to grow? Discuss that. Have all the clarity, and only if you feel that this is a club that will serve me, only then join. Even if you join, you can always switch clubs. Nobody's going to stop you for that ever. So that's something that is called as a transfer of membership. So that's also something that I did, and within a month of joining the club in Toastmasters in Kolkata, I kind of changed it to the club in Chennai, which is Speak Magic. And even though I was in Kolkata physically, it didn't make any difference because everything was online, everything, there was no physical sessions happening. Although I did attend one physical session of the Toastmasters Club of Kolkata, and there I did manage to win, I think, 3 certificates. Best auxiliary role player, I won the Grammarian Award, best table topic speaker, and best most improved speaker. So 3 certificates in one event. However, I didn't feel very good. And that's because maybe the folks over there were far too cool. I was a little old school for whatever reasons. I mean, I don't want to get into the individual things. The point is, I anyways find it difficult to be a part of the herd. It takes me. So I have my issues. So in the new club, however, it was amazing. Now, the moment I went into this club, they gave me the complete freedom. The first pathway, I finished it within 3 months. 4 months. So March, April, May, June. Yeah, June. No, May. 3 months. Yes, 3 months is what I took to finish the pathways. And that's because I was already in the webinar mode. So I was already ready to conduct webinars also. I was practicing, I was experimenting. And they gave me the full freedom, go to as many countries virtually as possible to give speeches. We will not stop you. So the president gave me the permission. Yogeshwari was the vice president education. She gave me the permission. Even the previous vice president education, he gave me the permission. There was no stopping me. And it just went on to such an extent where I was delivering speeches almost every single alternative day. And mind you, this is a period of time when I'm getting all my speeches mentored. I had Yogeshwari as my mentor, DTM Hemant, is who was my main mentor, but then he was absolutely okay for that. Yogeshwari was mentoring me, and we were kind of mentoring each other. He felt really good. So we were really going all guns blazing and winning all those awards. Parallelly, we were participating in multiple events. I still remember I used to attend minimum 2 club meetings every week, which later increased to 3 and then 4. There were 3 specific club meetings, one international, one home, and one club where we can learn a lot, where we were taking roles. And again, that's a place where there is a lot of demand, but there's a lot of uh, less supply of good quality evaluators, general evaluators, the different role players. So opportunities are there, and we aced it. Yogeshwari and I completely aced it. The moment I finished my first pathway in less than 3 months, I said to myself, it was exactly 89 days. And then I realized I would love to take up one more pathway. And I did. So took up one more pathway, finished that entire pathway in. So the first pathway for me was effective coaching. Second pathway for me was engaging humor. Now I was already practicing humor, so it didn't make any sense for me to hold up. Opportunities are there. Go ahead, deliver the speeches, delivered it, finished it in 29 days. So that was crazy. Now that was in April and then May. So June, I finished my second pathway. When I finished my second pathway, I realized, well, why not aim for the biggest? Why not aim for the greatest achievements ever possible? And back then, I still feel that it's proper to aim for something huge, which is next to impossible to achieve, because only then you will not achieve everything, but you will achieve at least achieve something. So I aim for 3 things: to be the first in the world to win the world champion of public speaking in his first attempt, to be the first in the world to achieve the distinguished Toastmasters title in the fastest possible time, and the first in the world to from India to become an accredited speaker, Toastmaster certified accredited speaker. Now, so far in this whole world, the 2021 champion, her name is DTM Verity Price. She's the only one who's been able to achieve that, achieve all these 3 titles. Okay. But I was too delusional and I started working towards it. So, okay, fine. What's the first target? The first target is distinguished Toastmasters. So I found out all the details, the steps that is needed to create distinguished Toastmasters. Yogeshwari and I did a speech craft because we already had the experience of hosting people in, and we had a public speaking community that supports us. People signed up for the speechcraft plus locked in. Then came the month of August when I was told, would you like to take up any role? And I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah, why not? So I took up the role of vice president membership at that time. Uh, was it right? Yeah, vice president membership. And Yogeshwari took up the role of vice president education. And we had a new change in the president. And this time we had a little more freedom because we had the entire, the it's called executive committee members of a club. So we took up those roles, and we also completely accelerated our entire journey in terms of growing clubs. So our club, which had just 7 or 8 members, suddenly started growing to 20, 25, 30, 35 members. And it was crazy. People were asking us, how are you so good at communication? We'll tell them, join our Toastmasters club. You'll learn it as well. We were giving all those personalized attention and mentoring. During that time, I also unlocked something that is called as a pathways mentor. Now, one crazy thing that happened is whenever I was looking to accelerate the journey, I realized that in Toastmasters, because it's a 100-year-old organization, probably the people over there had that same perspective and beliefs that you need to follow this as a proper marathon. But as in, you need to slowly take things at a time. You need to give opportunities to everyone. You need to switch between one role to the other, not take up speaking roles every single week or whatever. But I felt that if I'm someone who has already done those basics, why do I have to go follow the protocol? It doesn't make any sense. I don't want to renew my membership and just keep renewing and renewing and renewing while not improving and while not stagnating, only to realize that I'm not sure how it is in all the other Toastmasters clubs across the world. I've obviously haven't visited that many, but majority of them, as in at least the region where I was in, I got to realize that people are very, very obsessed about protocol to such an extent where when I requested permission to the leaders to assign me a club to coach, the club coach director back then clearly told me we will not be able to do so. In fact, we went into a very, very big heated argument as well. And that devastated me because the rules gives me the permission to coach a club, but the club growth director is not allowing me. So I went on and searched the other districts. Fortunately, I got a district to work with, and they were ready to onboard me because they have seen the kind of work that I'm bringing in. So I got a club to coach, and a club coach is pretty much like a club which has very less members. You need to not just improve the quality of the club, but also ensure that the members are there signing up. So I got a club, Yogeshwari got a club, and we were on our way to finish our distinguished Toastmasters within a year, which usually takes 4 years to do. And the reason why we wanted to do it so desperately, so that we don't have to take up a leadership role in the Toastmasters. That's something we did not want to do consciously. So that was in the month of August and September. So we took up that entire role. We participated in the contests where uh, Yogeshwari mentored me to the division finalist of table topics, and I mentored her to the division finalist of international speech contest. Now that's a different thing that when I lost, I didn't feel good at all. But now today, in retrospection, I feel grateful that in my very, very first attempt, in the very, very first year of me participating in the contests, I was able to win all four club awards, the three area level awards, two division level awards. It really felt really amazing, and to see all the trophies which my parents right now cherish at home. So that was our intention. We wanted to participate in contests, we want to win contests, attend speeches. So once the lockdown and everything got over, I did start attending a few physical events, but by that time, the Distinguished Toastmasters was already achieved. So I realized that accredited speaker is going to take a lot of time. And world champion of public speaking, well, people who have been there have been doing it for years and years and years. No one has been able to do it on the very, very first attempt. So deep down, I felt that after a certain point of time, I had outgrown the Toastmasters. As in, I'm not saying this with any way. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of people you will meet who've been in Toastmasters for like 25, 30 plus years. And Toastmasters is literally like their second home. But when I look at the standard of their speeches or the way that they present, again, it's not the way that I would see myself as. And that brings me to the final set of points. Wait, before I share the final set of points, there's some additional stuff as well. So, Toastmasters, there's a segment called as keynote speaker or a guest speaker or proper education sessions. So Toastmasters have tons and tons of such resources available in their online portal. So they have something called as a leadership series. They have the best speaker series. They have how the different manuals of leadership, and all of those pathways comes with dedicated notes, video tutorials, lectures. I think right now Toastmasters had, the last time I checked, Toastmasters had partnered up with this platform, AI platform called Udly, where you can upload your speech and you can get a proper AI based feedback and stuff. So all these improvements are there. So that's all the good sides of it. The not so good sides of it would be definitely the politics that I experienced, will be rigidity in terms of the protocols and the rules, the transparency and the kind of rapport that you build with the club leaders, the flexibility that they have, which I did not experience in the first, uh, what's that called? The Kolkata club, but what I experienced beautifully in Speak Magic Club. In fact, Speak Magic Club became such a special club, I'll tell you. Before we joined Speak Magic Club, there was only one distinguished Toastmaster in the club. And then DTM Hemant, who is Yogeshwari and my mentor in Toastmasters and right now in our business as well, he became the second Speak Magic member to achieve the Distinguished Toastmasters title. But he was from another, again, he came from another club. Now, Yogeshwari and I became the third and the fourth Distinguished Toastmaster of the club. And then after that, two more Distinguished Toastmasters also came out from that club. It's crazy how we've been able to build a legacy. Of course, now I'm not sure how the club is doing because I didn't visit the club for a long time, but I just hope and pray that the club just continues to grow because we had set such strong values and code of honor and stuff. And at the end of the day, the club is what its members make of it. So it obviously feels amazing. Now, one more thing is our club was also the first club that gave rise to four TEDx speakers, which is out of this world. And of course, right now, I think the club recently celebrated her 300th meeting. We had members from so many different parts of the globe attending our club meeting. So it was a crazy adventure that we experienced as a part of Toastmasters in Speak Magic. Now, let now the important points that I wanted to talk to you about. As as a communication expert, like communication skills is obviously one of the most important thing, but you need to be aware of what is it that you want, why do you want it, and you need to be able to communicate that straight away. It's going to involve, usually the Toastmasters club meetings happen once in a week for 2 hours is the official time, and then obviously there is travel to and fro, all of those things. Even after, at times I keep traveling, right? I go to Delhi, Bangalore, Pune, Chennai with respect to my work and all. Whenever I get an opportunity, I do enjoy spending a weekend of sorts in a Toastmasters club. It feels good. Now, will I ever go back into Toastmasters? I'm not so sure. If I go back, I would just go there to practice, to serve. But again, that's whatever we are doing in Toastmasters, you multiply it by 1,000 is what we are right now working on in Sunsden. And that's pretty much our business model. So I need not go there. I can literally do every single thing that I want to do right now over here. Now, what do you need to keep in mind before you sign up for Toastmasters? Have all the objectives clear, discuss, meet, attend as many Toastmasters club as you would want, attend as many guest sessions as you would want, even before you take a call. Once you take a call, make sure that you get a right mentor assigned. Make sure that you got your targets and everything locked and loaded in to a club who really understands you, the leaders who understand you. And finally, do not stop. Lead your own self paced journey, however you feel best. The day I got the Distinguished Toastmasters title in my hand, it was one of the most proudest moments of my life. And of course, the club awards that we got recently, I kind of gave it away to the club. But the individual awards that I got stays with me to this date. The awards, honestly, for me, they don't mean anything. Okay. Before I used to think that, oh, I'm a big fan of collecting certificates and all that. Now I feel yes, I had that obsession of collecting a lot of certificates. In fact, if I have to give you a count, I collected a total of 587 587 certificates over my Toastmasters. And I'm talking about best role players and every single thing in 1.5 years. So it's insane. Over 800 plus hours of stage time, count probably 200 plus speeches evaluated. It's insane the enormous amount of work that we had put in. Also, don't just go in there to learn communication skills. Go in there with the objective of I'm going to learn. I'm going to go out of my comfort zone. I'm going to step up and take up roles which I know is going to help me in some level or the other. If you want to ensure that you get the perfect mix of public speaking, leadership, and networking in a way that you are more open to interact with more and more people, visit fellow clubs, move on to different districts and experience all of that, you will definitely enjoy this place a lot. However, please be aware of the cons as well. Every single time you feel, and this is, I'm telling you, this is literally the only signal that you need. The moment something inside tells you that I am not enjoying this, is the time when you should not renew or move to a new club. And I cannot stress on this point. I remember I literally met my godmother over there. I mean DTM Gayatri, DTM Tabassum. My God, they are literally the fairy god angels in my life. I can talk to them anytime I want. I can disturb them anytime I want. It's insane the amount of good, amazing, heartfelt, soulful, compassionate people you will meet in the Toastmasters. It's a phenomenal institution to be in. However, don't be like me. Don't curse the institution just because you did not meet a good set of people. People can be unique, but the institution and the code of honor always stays the same. In 2026, that's also something that I'm learning. Instead of complaining and blaming an entire institution or an entire industry, I'm beginning to realize the importance and the impact of individual people. And you'll be blown away on how beautiful the world is, how many amazing people there are. And in case if you feel that there is no one, you always have Yogeshwari and me, who are to this day and continue to be distinguished Toastmasters. By the way, all the principles and stuff that you see in Speak to Lead right now are based on the foundations of what we have learned in the Toastmasters. We just multiply it by thousand times the more impact, thousand times the more uh, of results, thousand less times the speed, and everything has become thousand times better. And that's only because of all the community and public speaking experience that we've gathered, and Toastmasters have played such an integral role in our lives. At the end, I think if I have to summarize Toastmasters in a way that, I mean, if you have to ask me, do I like Toastmasters or not? I mean, I'm kind of neutral. Okay? I know what is it that I want, so I'll go into Toastmasters, I'll get it. That's how it is. Am I a fan of it? I mean, again, you can watch this entire live again to figure that out. Now, should you join? Well, you watch the entire thing, make a calculated call, and whatever call that you take, you know that I'm always your cheerleader and I'm going to be cheering you up every single way, anyhow. Yeah. So, with that, this is Dr. Suryadeep congratulating you on finishing 75 episodes with me. Uh, if you are surprised that today you saw 2 episodes, get ready to be surprised because this is what I'm planning to do until the end of February, if everything goes right. And the reason of doing this is I missed quite a lot of lives, I know, for whatever reasons. I don't want to get into excuses at all. I literally want to double down on this, double down on my learnings so that I can serve you double down. So you'll expect one live at 8:30, which is the usual standard time. Unless Yogeshwari has a guest speaker, then it might be rescheduled to 9 o'clock. We are still figuring out the stuff, the logistics of it. And then as soon as I finish my breakfast, post breakfast, there's going to be one more live before which 11 to 2:30 p.m. is when I go nail down into my work full fledged. So get ready for that as well. With that, this is Dr. Srideep. Love you so much. I'll see you in the next one.